In this video, I'm gonna take it up a notch further, okay? So I'm just gonna be sharing about 5 signs that you're probably experiencing right now that is gonna trigger you into spiritual awakening, okay? So this is gonna take you into a deeper realm of the woo-ness, okay? So, before I head into the first point, Namo Adesh, I'm Garrett. My mission as a life coach is to help people realize their infinite potential using spirituality, law of attraction, and feng shui. So without further ado, let's jump into the first point of the day. So, first point, why would you want to go into spiritual awakening? When you're asking these sort of questions, then I should say, perhaps maybe you shouldn't. You see? Because it's not about why I should, but rather the chaos around you is causing you to trigger into awakening, you see. So in my first point, it is the chaos, okay? So in most of our life, we are being so accustomed to the programming and the day-to-day lives that we've been caught up with, you see. So I've actually shared a video yesterday on my Facebook, which is telling us about samadhi, which is actually a deeper form of spiritual awakening. So there's a lot of stages of spiritual awakening. So some of you perhaps already has started on their journey of a spiritual awakening, but as you go on this seeker's journey, you will find out more, and it will lead you into deeper stage and deeper stages of understanding of how the spiritual awakening works, okay? So the first point is chaos. Why do I say chaos? So the biggest problem is that most people, they don't realize that they are undergoing some form of chaos in their life right now, and this chaos is actually what the universe wants you to go through. Because get that, life don't happen to you, it happens for you, you see. So perhaps maybe we really should understand this point. And being in the state of spiritual awakening simply just pulls you out of victimhood. You see, you are just gonna take control of your life a lot better. Why do I say that? Because when you're experiencing all this chaos, you're probably very emotional, and you're probably in a state of chaos right now. So your mind is probably all over the place. Some of us would think that some of your close family members or your friends probably think that you're going through some form of depression on the worst case scenarios. Well, in life, you're probably being caught up in a day-to-day basis, and you think that should be the norm, you see. But actually, this shouldn't be a norm. When you're experiencing some form of chaos in your life, and it is making you question, why am I on this earth? Why am I on this planet? What's my purpose here? Okay, when that question arises, you see, that's the first sign. Okay, so usually there's always gonna be some form of trigger. Okay, and the universe is not gonna tell you, oh look, there's a clear indication that you are already into awakening. No, this is not how it works, you see. So it's always gonna trigger and slowly push you, you see. And the universe in some way is, like I say, I would like to view it like a parent, the most loving parent that you ever had, you see. Because being good or bad in this life, is always triggering you to grow, you see. So whether you view it as a bad thing or you view it as a good thing is not important, because it just is, you see. And when it slowly nudges you to chaos, it means that some point of your lifetime you probably question what you're doing right now is something that is not making you eternally happy, you see. So by going into a spiritual awakening, it's starting to make you question, it's starting to make you wonder, what's my life purpose? And perhaps a lot of all this day-to-day living that you're currently caught up with, okay, you're caught up with this illusion really. So by heading in to a spiritual awakening, that's where something makes you want to explore further, you see. Is there more to life, you see? And spiritual awakening is not something like it's not questioning why I should do this. When you're questioning why you should do this, then this is not right for you, okay? There must be a triggering point, okay? So the first thing is chaos. So you'll probably be experiencing some form of chaos in your life. Okay, so notice what's going on around you. Okay, point number 2, you'll be experiencing some form of separation. Okay, why do I say separation? So one of the most common thing in our day-to-day living, right? Separation usually comes in the way of you're ending a relationship, okay, or perhaps you're ending a phase of your life. Okay, so for my phase at that time that triggered me into absolute stage of chaos is job loss, okay, and also a recent migration. You see, so migration is also a separation of your previous life, okay, your previous lifestyle. You see, so any way of this triggering is gonna make you question. You see, it's gonna make you question because you're not getting your circle of friends is no longer around you, and your family members are also not so close to you anymore. See, so there's always separation involved whenever there's chaos. You see, so this chaos will link to the separation, and it make you go into even deeper stage of emotional trauma. You see, so that is a power of chaos around you. You see, and when you're just being stuck with this motion of your life and certain scenarios in your life, like perhaps maybe work is you're going through a lot of stress, then your relationship is also going through a lot of stress, then everything piles up together, then it explodes, and voila, you start to question, why am I on this planet? Okay, perhaps maybe you will feel like this is depression. People misunderstood depression. A lot of us, actually, if you were to go to a lot of psychologists, right, you probably might be able to ask them. They might probably tell you that 60 to 70% of their customers, they think they're in depression, but actually it's not depression. You see, a lot of them would question. A lot of them would question, why are they on this planet? And that's actually a triggering sign of the universe trying to tell you that, look, it's time you do something to it. But it's just that they don't know, or perhaps they haven't met the right people, or they haven't read the right signs, or they haven't seen a video, or haven't watched. There's so many ways that you'll be being nudged and guided to spiritual awakening. And it's just that we are not noticing the subtleties, you see. So if there's something that like this that's going on right now, you could probably take this video as an indication that, oh, look, you're going through this right now. It's something that you should rectify right now, you see. Because like I say, the universe is the most loving parent. Okay, so when you're going through signs of awakening, is perhaps maybe you've in this lifetime, perhaps in the past, you've probably questioned yourself, why am I here? So that questioning will probably lead that vibration sent out to the universe. And that second question that made you want to go through it is probably the universe knows that you will eventually have to awaken this lifetime, you see. And by just ignoring the signs, you're just gonna go through the same scenarios over and over again, and the universe will keep throwing similar situations. So I would like to view it this way. If let's say some of my friends here on watching this video are probably parents already. So okay, so take for instance, if a parent, if your child isn't following your instructions, or isn't following what you're telling them to do, okay, or instructions, okay. So basically, they are not following your instructions. So first sign, you probably as a parent, you'll probably be warning them, right? Verbal warning. So you'll be like, oh, look, you should do something. Okay, stop doing that. You'll probably be saying, stop that. Okay, so that's the first sign. And the universe is just gonna do that to you. So it's just gonna tell you verbally that, and these verbal warnings are probably like, it starts from the minor chaos in your life. They might be in a relationship scenario. They can come up to you and probably be telling you, you'll be encountering some hiccups in your relationships, or you may be a little hiccup or at work. It may give you a lot of shitty scenario at workplace. There's a lot of instances, you see, and they'll probably be telling you, this is not good for you, and you're suffering at that stage already, you see. Stage 2, your loving parent, once they look at you still not following the instructions and still misbehaving, what would you do? Second stage. As a parent, you start to take that toy away, right? Or you'll probably be some worst case scenario is they'll scold them. Okay, they'll scold them. They'll give them a good handful of scolding, or they will scream and shout at the kid. So that's stage 2 as a parent. So when you're not behaving again, then they'll take the toy away. So what does taking the toy away means? They take away the current opportunity that you're working with. They take away your work. They take away the relationship. They take away things. Yeah, you may call it cruel, but this is just how it is, because the universe always knows what's best for you see. And if you're still not listening, because signs are very subtle, and success always leaves clues, you see. And the clues can be all around you. It's just that you're failing to notice, that's all. You see? So once it's being taken away, your toy is being taken away, then the kid will start crying. Right? The kid will be in all absolute chaos. It will be why is this happening to me? What is going on around? Why is the world being so nasty to me all the time? That's stage 2. Okay? Then most children would go back to their parents and say, can you give me back my toy, whatsoever, right? Yeah. But the parent will not. Why? Because when I were to give you back the toy again, without you understanding why you shouldn't be misbehaving, you will not learn. You'll go back to the same thing again. Yeah, the kid will probably tear the toy, or probably be throwing the toy on the floor, making it dirty, all those kind of things, you see. So it's a cycle, you see. If you fail to realize what the universe is doing to you, it's actually just like a parent, the most loving parent, you see. So if the kid, once you take away the toy, the kid will start to be angry, will be all upset, right? So some of the kids will probably be walking away. Since you're doing this to me, I'm gonna ignore you. So this is where most of the kids will start to actually go away. They'll go astray. You see, some will go into addictions. See, some would go into distracting themselves with different forms of addiction, smoking, drinking, drugs. Some unhealthy habits will start to form. You see, they want to numb away this kind of pain that's happening around them. You see, and what can the universe do? What can you as a parent do at that kind of situations? You can't do much, right? You can only pray for the best and hope that, okay, look, when you're ready to listen to me, then come back to me. That's where I will guide you to the right person, or guide you to the right scenarios to let you go through this lesson, so that you will not go through this kind of lessons again. See? So that's where the separation happens. And when you understand that this separation is causing this to happen for you, separation is just like the universe taking away your toy. Okay? So now you already understand that you will be heading into stage 3, whereby all the chaos is happening, and you know that that's the bigger plan for you that the universe wants you to understand. Okay, you head on into point number 3. So in point number 3, what is gonna happen? Point number 3 is actually you start to realize that there's a lot of things you start to remembering stage. Okay, so remember what kind you start to piece and connect back the dots. You see, and that's where your journey is about to start. See, you start to question, why is my toy always constantly being taken away? Am I misbehaving myself? Okay, or what have I done to deserve this? You start to question. See, then you start piecing all these jigsaw puzzles together. Or perhaps maybe, why am I always in an unhealthy relationship? Why am I always being cheated? So there's always a scenario, a particular scenario in your life that is always letting you go through the same thing over and over again, and it's always causing you to be upset, always causing you to be basically in the mess. Okay, so that's questioning. There's a lot of remembering. You see, once you remember, once you sit down and start to evaluate your life, you start to think, why is this always constantly causing me to be unhappy? So once you start piecing this together, you start to remember, so this is something that I've been doing all this while. See, and this is attracting more of the same scenario coming back into my life. You see, and when that happens, you'll be like, what's next? Then you start to ask, what's next? What can I do to stop having all these scenarios coming back to me again? See, that's when you go into the next stage. See, you go into the next stage. What does the next stage actually mean? The sensor stage will actually start. What does sensor stage actually mean? Sensors means that when you start to remember all this stuff, right? You start to practice inner work. You start to work on your own. You know that this problem has always been from me. See, so you know that there's inner work that's to be done. Certain people will start doing a lot of meditations. A lot of people will start to reflect, do a lot of self-reflections. You'll start to do journaling. You'll be more forgiving to yourself. You know that, okay, I've been doing this kind of methods, but perhaps maybe I've been doing it in the wrong way. I should change my methods. You see, so when you start doing all this inner work, you start doing all this raising of your vibrations and all, then you go into sensor stage. You see, sensor stage is, your parents will probably know, as a parent, the biggest, most loving parent, the universe, starts knowing that, they notice you as a kid. Okay, it seems like you learn the hard way. You already learned the lesson. So this is the time whereby the parent will probably open the door, looking at you, not crying in the room. It's like, okay, perhaps maybe I should go in and try to talk to her again or him again. Okay, so it's that stage of a parenthood and how they communicate with the kid. So that's where your senses start to improve. You start to notice, perhaps all these aren't coincidence. You start to notice that's a lot of synchronicities. You see, you start when you look at the watch, you notice it's 1:11 p.m. You start 2:22. You get 3:33. Sometimes you wake up at night. See, out of no reason, no apparent reason, you wake up during the times of 3 to 5 a.m. You see, and sometimes and the worst case scenarios, especially for me, when initially my journey started, I woke up at 2:22, 3:23, 4:44. It's always synchronicities. That's the universe sign for you that, look, time to wake up and do something. It's already acknowledging you see. It's like, I know that you're going through a tough time, and I'm giving you my support right now. And you will be navigated to better growth. You'll be navigated deeper into spiritual awakening. You see, if you act on it. You see? And your senses will improve tremendously, because once you start to notice all these subtle signs out there, okay, you will start to take action. See, and you're gonna go into self-discovery even deeper. You start doing more meditations. You start doing more breath work exercises. You start gonna be raising your vibration so high. Then the disconnection will start. You see, so everything around you start to disengage, because you're gonna go through this thorough cleansing. You see. Once you go through this thorough cleansing, your life starts to become more order. You see, you go into a new kind of order. You start to, of course, during this stage is a lot of purging, and when there's a lot of purging in your life, you probably be thinking that, I'm going through a lot of challenges right now, and things like that is gonna come at you, and it's gonna come at you very in a very intense way. You probably feel like, why am I so disengaged with the universe right now? Why disengaged with the people, with my friends, with my family members? Some of them, they probably wouldn't understand why are you going through this motion in your current life right now. And some of them will probably object you for being you, for finding out your true cause. You see, so they will disagree with you, and some of them probably even leave you. You see, they will find that, oh, you're weird, you're no longer behaving like what you should be behaving, you see. And when that happens, a lot of all these old relationships will end. But it's okay, don't worry, because when you're going through this stage of sensory heightens, and worse, you'll probably be getting a lot of increase of sense of taste, sense of smells, all this. So all this is going to make you even more confused. Your sixth sense will start to heighten as well, your intuition. And sometimes you look at someone and you feel like whether that person is trustable or not. So it's all these little things that is going to make you even more confused during your stage as going through this spiritual awakening. So it's going to make you even more confused. So I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, okay? But once you walk out of this, then you're into awakening, you see. So after the sensory is heightened, then you go into the final one, the last sign, okay? So the last sign is actually intuition, you see. So when the sensory is heightened, you connect back to intuition, you see. Intuition means like, okay, you know, take for instance, you go for a job interview, or you go for meeting up with a new man or a new woman in your life. You see, you go and meet them, and you start to realize that whether or not this person is going to be right for me. You start to question whether is that person genuine. Okay, then you go into a work scenario, you start to there's going to be a very strong intuition. There's going to be a very strong sixth sense. See, and the sixth sense is just gonna make you clear. It's just that there's this knowing in you, see, and this thing will continue to heighten. This intuition will continue to heighten, you see. So you can call it psychic abilities, whatever you want. So this people always give names to something that they don't know, or they haven't experienced it. So intuition is something that is a knowing within you, okay? So this knowing will probably help you feel more down the road. So in times of confusion, in times of whereby the mind is always telling you, oh, this thing is not supposed to be like that. However, the intuition is trying to tell you a different thing. The intuition is trying to tell you, look, no, you should actually be wanting to do this, whereas the mind is telling you not to do this. So which should you listen to? That's where you're gonna be in a stage of confusion, you see. So when you're able to go through these 5 signs, okay, so let me recap. The first sign is basically chaos. Second sign, separation. Third sign, remembering. Fourth sign, senses heighten. Okay, last sign, intuition. So once you've got all this figured out, congratulations, you're in the stage of spiritual awakening. Okay, so when you're in this, once your spiritual awakening starts, of course there's gonna be a lot more magical stuff that's gonna happen to you. So your senses will heighten. That's already the 4th sign, right? So everything heighten. So you would also be slowly gaining empathic abilities. So certain people aren't an empath initially when they started their journey, but when they go through spiritual awakening, they will heighten as an empath, and they will feel energies around you. They will start to notice that, okay, this person is, even though when you look, you see beyond, you basically see beyond. So that whenever the person or your friends or your family members, they tell you, oh, everything is okay, but you can see beyond. See, you start to question, are you sure? Because I feel that you're not okay. So you're able to sense, you see. So the sensing bit becomes heightened so much, so you're able to see beyond. Then, of course, certain people will start to have natural abilities even more heightened. So your eyesight, your vision, everything, your hearing, everything will improve tremendously. You see, and basically, it's all your superpowers being unlocked. I would say that some of us are able to channel information. So we'll be able to receive downloads from the universe, and downloads come in a sense like the moment you come out of a meditation, or the moment you wake up from a dream, you're able to receive all this information, and you know that this information is genuinely right for you. That means you're going to go on this right direction. You see, so all this intuition, all these senses are just gonna help you walk through this spiritual awakening. You see? And once you're through these 5 signs, right? Once you're in this stage of awakening, then everything becomes very beautiful. Everything becomes amazing for you. You will start to every day you have a deeper appreciation of your life right now. You see, because you're no longer bothered by external factors. Your everyday internal world is gonna be a lot more fascinating because you start to question a lot of things and you start to go and research a lot more of it. And this self-discovery stage is something that I am still going through right now. So it's this journey will never end because it's just gonna lead you into a deeper stage of awakening. A deeper stage of awakening. You'll find out a lot more. So that leads you to your truth. You see? And once you're able to go into a stage whereby you realize your higher purpose, you're connecting with your higher self. Okay? So once you connected with your higher self, that's where you know what's the purpose in your life. Why are you here? And that's a really deep stage of spiritual awakening already. And when you're working on that, once you're working on your higher self, you'll find a lot more purposeful in life. You see? Okay? So with this, I'm just gonna end my video off today. So I hope you've learned something in this video. So if you did, so reaffirm your learnings in the comment section. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So I'm dedicated to make a lot more videos that's gonna help you in your journeys and also help to improve your life. Okay? So thank you all for watching this video. Namo Adesh. I'm Garrett. See you in the next video. Okay?